Hello everyone, my name is Marius Martin again and I am the 4th grade writing CTO. This is your Unit 2 virtual unit preview. Before we jump into the virtual unit preview, I want to go over the agenda for today. We're going to spend some time looking at the scope and sequence, then we'll move to the unit at a glance, really thinking about the big picture and misconceptions. Then we'll move on to the resources, office hours, and finally leave some time to show where to send questions if you have questions for me. A soft copy of the scope and sequence is located in the 4th grade Blackboard course under Curricular Documents and then Course Vision and Supporting Documents. In this video, I'll only be highlighting just a few key points, so I really do suggest that you take the time to review the document in its entirety at a later date. As you can see here, Unit 2 will be taught over 6 weeks. That includes 23 instructional days and 5 flex days. In my unit at a glance, as you can see soon, I've included a lot of grammatiques, so I think those flex days can be used as grammar days for scholars who may be struggling with some of the grammatiques still, or you can use that for writing conferences, or you can give an assessment on those flex days. Also to note is to make sure you're looking at the progression of TEKS between 3rd and 5th grade. So all of the 4th grade TEKS will be highlighted in yellow in the center, but really just make sure that you're looking at what they're learning in 3rd and what they're expected to know in 5th so that we can reach down and push up for all of our scholars to meet everyone's needs. Let's move on to the unit at a glance for Unit 2. As a reminder, this document is located in the 4th grade writing folder under Unit and Lesson Plans, and then the first folder, Unit at a Glance and Unit Previews. This unit, we're making the shift from narrative to expository writing. Expository writing places a great emphasis on organization and structure, and in the unit at a glance, I've planned ample time for scholars to become familiar with expository writing and how it differs from narratives. One thing that will be of the utmost importance is to reiterate that a narrative tells a story and expository gives information. In order to help scholars better understand the structure of this type of writing, I've included a copy of the Hamburger Planner, which we'll use as a great resources to keep them on task and keep scholars really focused as they write. Finally, in Unit 2, I've included a lot of increased focus on effective peer and teacher-led conferencing. So please just look out in the unit preview for that. I think this is a great way for scholars to take more ownership over their writing by having them conference with you as well as having them conference with another peer. So we're really going to be focusing on using that time wisely and what that should look like. In my unit at a glance, you'll also notice that I've blocked out 2 days for an expository assessment. I would highly recommend taking this and using this assessment as a data checkpoint in your classroom. Seeing how scholars will perform on an expository prompt without teacher assistance will be a great indicator of their readiness for Common Assessment 2. In my classroom, I plan to use this data to determine my reteach groups just leading up to that Common Assessment. For Unit 2, I've pulled out 2 big misconceptions. I anticipate that scholars are going to have some difficulty moving from narrative to expository writing. So in order to remedy that, I recommend making an example of this anchor chart that I've included up here just to have scholars have a better understanding of what a narrative looks like and what an expository looks like and how to navigate the differences between the two. Additionally, for teachers, one misconception I foresee is involving conferencing. So I think it will be very beneficial to set up a conference schedule as well as clearly outline what you'll be discussing in that conference. I like to limit my student conferences to 2 to 5 minutes max and really just try to focus on one skill during that conference as opposed to looking at everything as a big picture. There are certainly more misconceptions listed in the unit at a glance, so please make sure that you are thinking about these as you get into planning your lessons. And as always, if you have any questions or you need help navigating these misconceptions, don't hesitate to reach out. Along with Unit 1 and Unit 2, I've added several resources and artifacts in the Blackboard folder. This is where I will house all the relevant teaching materials for 4th grade writing. For this unit, the biggest change you'll notice is that I've re-itemized the grammar section by TEK, and under each subsection you'll find relevant TEK-specific content. As we move further along in the year, I plan to use these resources in centers or small groups as a way to reinforce my scholars' grammar skills. As I mentioned in the virtual unit preview number 1, my hope is that for this document to become a living document where we all share resources. So if there's anything you see here or anything that you have personally that you'd like to be added, just email me and I'll go ahead and add it to the resource page. Just as a quick reminder, office hours will be held every second and fourth Thursday of the month from 4:30 to 5:30. However, during any weeks where there is a collaboration day, we won't have office hours that week. These sessions are just generally intended to be used as a way for us to dive deeper into specific content topics, as well as me to give time to answer questions that you might have about fourth grade writing in the moment. I know that I've presented quite a bit of information, so I would like, if you have any questions, just for you to feel free to email me here. My email is mamartin@uplifteducation.org. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you have a wonderful day.